the Bijou Baker. I'm Maria. Tomorrow I'm going to be having an ice cream social. So I've made ice cream. I've got that hardening. Talk about decadent. I've got the waffle makers made. I'm going to coat them with some chocolate to make sure that the ice cream doesn't seep through and get it soggy. And I'm going to make today a fruit compote. Now, a fruit compote is just a bunch of different fruits that are macerated and marinated in its own juices, and then add a little sugar, add a little lemon zest and lemon juice, because the acid is really going to help. Believe it or not, the acid is going to make it sweeter. Go figure, right? Okay, so add a couple other things, and I'll show you here. Take a look here. I've already got it going on a medium heat right now, and I've got, okay, let me come back up here. I want to tell you, I've got a pint of raspberries, a pint of blueberries, a pint of blackberries, and I've got some strawberries. Now I got 2 pounds of strawberries, and they sat for just a few hours and they went bad. Man, that's a bummer. But I do have some frozen strawberries, and that's why these look so different. But that's not bad. Take a look and you'll see. So I've got all my fruit in here, and the frozen strawberries produced so much juice. That's going to make it fantastic when it comes time to not blend it. There we go. Right here alone, that's just a good topping for ice cream. But it's going to cook. I'm going to add, here's some ingredients that I have in. I'm going to add some sugar. 1.5 cups of sugar. I know that's a lot, but that's what's going to help make the, man, that looks scary, doesn't it? Let me just go ahead and try to hide it. I'm joking. You'll see, sugar is what's used when you make jams and jellies and such, and that's the thickening agent, believe it or not. So, well, there's also pectin in jams and jellies, but for the most part, some of the fresh fruit, they're just not sweet after they're cooked. Now, one of the things that I add is cinnamon. Cinnamon just gives it a really hearty, earthy tone. You're not going to taste a lot of cinnamon, but you're going to taste something, and it's going to be like, what is that? I don't know what that is, but I just know I want more. So it's going to go. I'm going to pick up the heat a little bit higher. And I'm going to add the juice of a lemon. Now, this is fantastic. This lemon, it doesn't look very well. This is right from our lemon bush outside. I can't even cut it without it juicing up. That's fantastic. It might not look pretty, but boy, that is a juicy lemon. In fact, so juicy I have to do it over here. And because I don't want the seeds in it, I'm going to go ahead and just juice it here. I'm not going to use the zest. Primarily because it's green, and the green zest isn't nearly as good as you would imagine the yellow one to be, the ripe one. So here we go. It's going to sit like this and cook, and it's going to thicken. Those are pretty colors, aren't they? Okay, so I'm going to let this cook for about 5 minutes, and then I'll get back to you and show you what we're going to do next. Okay, so now, as you can see, it's been boiling for about 5 minutes, and take a look at all the bubbles and all the magic that has happened, and it's rumbling pretty good. And this is essentially the start of making jams and jellies, if you ever wanted to go that route, and we might be able to do that later if you're interested. So here we have it, and all the berries have given up their sweet juices. I had it on high. Now I'm going to turn the fire all the way off, and I'm going to add vanilla. Now you don't want to add vanilla before cooking or before its highest heat, because it can become bitter. So I'll say a tablespoon, but my tablespoons are very generous because I love vanilla. All right. So now I'm going to take my immersion blender and pulse. Now, this is very hot syrup, so please be very careful. When I'm lifting up, I'm making sure to turn it off because if it splatters, it could scar. Changing its consistency, and because I used the frozen strawberries and it gave me all that wonderful juice, all I had to add was the juice of the lemon. If you don't have a very sweet, juicy lemon, I'll tell you, all you have to do is put your lemon in the microwave for about 15 seconds and then roll it around on the cutting board or your countertop or whatever, and it'll juice up nicely. See how that is? That's perfect. This will be fantastic over ice cream. How's that? That smells so good. And before it got too hot, you always taste your food so that you know that what you're putting out is something good. If it's good at one point, it should be good toward the end. So I take, not now, because this sucker will burn. I'll take the back of my the spoon and just kind of run my finger along and taste it. And that cinnamon, man, that cinnamon takes it to another level. So this is fruit compote. You can also, this is going to sit, and I'm going to keep it in the pot till it comes to room temperature, and then I'll transfer it to a container and keep it in the refrigerator, and it'll last in the refrigerator for up to probably about a month or so. Well, if it lasts that long, because it's so good. You can also put it in your icing for dessert, not for decorating, and I'll explain that later. But for desserts, you could put this in your icing. You can put this just on the cake as a filling, over ice cream, on toast. There are so many things you can do with something this magical and so easy. So there you go. You have made your first fruit compote. Okay, my friends, until next time, happy baking. Ah, that was fun.